I'm Lisa Silverbrand from Recreated Designs, and you're watching Hometalk. We all have things that end up in the trash or the recycle bin that can be turned into something else. The first thing I want to show you are these toilet paper tubes that we all have. We go through so many of these and they always end up in the trash. So I want to show you a super easy hack to use these to get ready for spring. So I have gone ahead and taken a vintage tin that I had here and I have filled it with all kinds of these toilet paper tubes here. And these toilet paper tubes are amazing for getting your seeds started, and it's super easy. All I have to do is take my tubes. I'm going to cut a few little slits along the bottom here, just about an inch up, and then I'm just going to turn them all in like this. This is just going to provide a little bit of a base for our seed starters. And once I've got that, I can just push it in to hold that in place like that, and then pop it back into my tray. So I'm going to do that on all of my little paper tubes here. So next, all you need to do is take some dirt or some potting soil. You want to fill your little tubes with some potting soil. And you want to fill it till it's pretty much near the top. And it doesn't matter if you get potting soil in your tray. These trays are perfect for keeping all of this soil together and your tubes together. So I've got my tube pretty much filled to the top here. And then you can take any sort of seed that you like. And I've got some carrot seeds here. I'm going to open my packet and I am going to take a little bit of my seed here. And I'm just going to sprinkle 1 or 2 little seeds into my paper tube starter here. Once I've got my seeds in, I'm going to take another little spoonful of dirt and put it over top. And that's all I need to do. I give it a drink of water, and then when these start sprouting in the spring, I can take my tube and plant it directly into the ground, tube and all, because it will biodegrade in the ground, and I've got the perfect little seed starters. While we're talking about plants, I want to show you my next little hack here, and it's with one of these regular 2-liter bottles that we all seem to have in the trash as well. These little bottles, or big bottles, make super quick greenhouses. All you need to do is take a sharp knife, and anywhere on the bottle, you can slice your bottle open, and you want to slice all the way around so that you're cutting off the bottom portion of your bottle. Once you have your bottle cut, you can take the top portion, and you don't need the bottom, so you can save that for another craft. And you can take this top portion of the bottle, pop it right over top of any sort of little plant or seedling, right like that, and it creates the perfect little greenhouse. The moisture will collect in there and your plants will thrive. For my next hack, I wanted to show you how to take a smaller single-use bottle and turn it into something for your feathered friends outside. So I've got the small bottle here, it's all cleaned out, and I've made sure that it's nice and dry on the inside. And we're gonna need our straight edge again. And the first thing we wanna do is start by poking some little holes. So you can make these little X's if you want, so that they're nice and tight. And I'm going to make one here, and I'm going to make one just about the opposite side. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to make a little X in this side as well. And you can take something like an old wooden spoon or some dowels or some old chopsticks, anything like that for this project. And I want to take one of these. I'm going to stick it through one side, and I'm going to poke it right outside the other side so that I'm going straight through like that. Next, I'm going to make one a little further down, and I want to make it opposite of the one we just made. And this one, I'm going to make an X on one side, and I'm going to use my wooden spoon for this one. So I'm going to go the opposite here. And this time, I'm going to cut out a little circle on this side. So I'm going to cut out just a little bit of a bigger area on this one. And then I'm just going to pull that out. And I'm just going to pop that little piece out there. And I'm going to pop the bigger part of the spoon in this side, and I'm going to push my spoon right out that X on the other side here. Now, If we want the seed to come out onto our spoon, we're gonna make that hole just a little bit bigger up there so he can get his beak in there. And some of that seed will just come right out onto the spoon there. So I'm just going to use the little scissors here. So there we go. You could make a little hole right above here as well if you want to, or I can push this through, make a little perch up here if I want him to be able to get the seed out there. The other thing you want to do to your little bird feeder is to put a few little holes in the bottom just so that any moisture that gets in there drains out. So these don't have to be big. I'm just going to poke a few little holes in there, and that will drain out my moisture at the bottom. Once I have my little bird feeder filled up, I'm going to put the cap back on, and then all I need to do is take some twine, wrap it around the lip of my bottle here, and I can just wrap that around a few times, tie it off tight, and then I can use this to hang my bird feeder from a railing or a tree. My next trash hack is using this glass jar that I was going to throw out or recycle. I'm actually going to use this one for two different projects, so I'm going to take off the lid and put it aside. I have cleaned out my jar so it's nice and clean and it's dry, and all you're going to need for this project is some white glue, just some craft glue, and some Epsom salts or some white glitter. And I'm going to take this craft glue and I am just going to paint it all over this jar. I am going to cover my jar up completely, but you could get fun and fancy with this project if you wanted. You could make patterns on here, or you could use a stencil to get some designs, but I really like the look of how this is when it's completely covered, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. All right, once that's covered, I'm going to take a larger container just to hold it over, and I'm going to take some, I'll just set that down, I'm going to take some glitter that I have here, and I am just going to sprinkle that all over the wet glue until I've covered my entire jar. Now that the glue is dry on our jar, we have this gorgeous sparkly outside here, and we are just going to pop in a votive candle in there. Light it up, and you've turned your recyclable jar into this beautiful candle holder, perfect for your winter nights. For my final trash to hack project, I want to take a picture from an old magazine and the lid from the glass jar that we had. So I'm going to find a picture that I really love, and I just want to make sure that it's the same size as the jar lid. So I'm going to use this little picture right here. I love these. And this is a great way to use up your old magazines and your jar lid when you're throwing them out. I'm going to cut this paper out of the magazine, and then I am just going to lay my lid over top of the picture that I want to use, which is this one right here. And I don't mind if I get a little bit of the sides around it, and I'm just going to slice right around my jar lid here. And pop that picture out like that. Oh, how cute is that? I love that little picture. Now that's going to be a little bit big because I went around the outside of the jar. I want to give my jar lid a coat of silver paint. So I'm going to use some beautiful metallic silver paint here. And I'm just going to paint my entire lid. And this is going to take a couple of coats of this silver paint. And on the inside, I want to make sure that I do that inside edge right around here with the same silver paint. I don't have to worry about the middle, but I want to do that edge around there. With the paint dry on our jar lid here, we now want to pop in the photo that we cut out from our magazine. So I'm just going to take a little Mod Podge here. I'm going to brush that all over the inside of the jar lid, just like this. And then I'm going to stick my picture inside, and I'm not going to worry about these edges because I'm going to finish that off with a little silver paint after. So I'm just going to pop in my picture here from my magazine, pop it in and smooth it out. And then I want to take a little bit more of the Mod Podge and just seal that up with a nice coating of that on top. And you just want to make sure that the edges are all sealed in there. The Mod Podge is all dry, and I've added just a little bit of silver paint around the inside to finish off our coasters. How cute are those? They're ready to put on your coffee table or end table, and pop your glass on whenever you need an extra coaster. The next time you're getting ready to throw some of these items in the trash, I hope you'll think twice and turn them into one of these cute little projects. They were so easy to make, and you can definitely hack your trash. Thank you for watching Home Talk. I'm Lisa Silverbrand from Recreated Designs. I'll see you next time.